that has traveled across the waters. Assemblywoman from Queens also joining our Staten Island electors that are here. And right on time, we have the amazing district attorney that joined us. We recall speaking to the electors that are here. There's one thing about Staten Island elected officials that is really impressive when it comes down to representing the borough. After elections are over, they unite and they become one party, and that's the Staten Island Party, to represent the people of Staten Island. And oftentimes, we've stood side by side on these important issues. I was out here yesterday as well, and when we look at the development of your parks, the development of your infrastructure, your housing, you often see a bipartisan agreement on how we can do it together and represent the people of Staten Island. I like to believe that I'm going to be a mayor that's going to be on Staten Island more than any mayor probably in the history of this city, because you're not a forgotten borough under this administration. And this issue has been an issue for some time, and hats off to AG James, Attorney General Tish James, for seeing and battling to get the manufacturers that have raked in billions of dollars of the overuse and overprescription of opioids, and using those dollars to come back to local communities and using them through our H&H hospital. She could have stopped there, but because of the advocacy of the elected officials here, they clearly and rightfully pointed out that there was not an H&H on Staten Island. And because of the creativity of understanding that the opioid epidemic does not end wherever the geographical boundaries of an H&H hospital is located, it is throughout our entire city. And because of that and the advocacy of your elected officials, we are now, through the dollars that were retrieved from these manufacturers, we will be delivering $12 million to Staten Island to go through your local community-based organization. It is really disheartening to know that Staten Island represents 5% of the citywide overdose that take place due to opioids. And it hurts us all to see that we have a 12% increase from 2021. This is a major, major crisis that we are facing. Dr. Fassan and his team, we're leaning into this crisis, and it is directly associated with the overproliferation of fentanyl that has found its way into our lives of different backgrounds and different groups. 80% of the deaths that are tied to overdose or overdoses, 80% you see the presence of fentanyl. And it has swept across our entire country. But places like Staten Island, they have been hit extremely hard. And this money will go a long way. And, you know, when you look at what the district attorney is doing in his Project Hope program, this money can assist of getting out, giving people the support that they deserve. Over 2,000 people have been treated through this program. These are the types of innovative services we need: cross-pollination of ideas, breaking down the walls and barriers that prevent us from going after a common enemy of opioid, and all of the pathways that opioids finds itself in our communities and family. It's devastating. You lose a loved one. It doesn't stop when the wake or the funeral is over. It has an impact on your life, your family lives, your loved ones, and everyone that is a part of the loss of the individual. So these $12 million and finding its way into local community-based organizations, back into the community of Staten Island, is really commendable with the elected officials who are here, understanding that this is one city, and Staten Island cannot be a forgotten borough when it's time to get the relief that they deserve. Job well done from the electeds that are here for getting it done. Job well done for the Attorney General. And let's continue to fight opioids. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I would like to ask the Attorney General to say a few words.
So the mayor's voice is a little hoarse this morning. He's come to the right place. Can someone from Rumsey make sure that he gets treated? Thank you, and good morning, everyone. We know that the opioid crisis has ravaged families here on Staten Island. We know that tonight and during the holidays, that an individual will be missing from your family, will be missing from the table, the dinner table. We know that they will not be there to open up Christmas presents. We know that because as I traveled all throughout the state of New York, I met family members. I met individuals who lost loved ones. I held mothers and fathers over open caskets. I know what opioids has done. And these individuals were victims. A lot of them went in to see a doctor for a toothache, for back pain. And they used opioids as pain medication. And they used it repeatedly over and over and over again with no concern about these individuals because they were more concerned about profit over people. And that's why I made a commitment that I would file the most comprehensive and extensive lawsuit against these drug manufacturers and distributors. And that's exactly what we did, to the tune of $2.6 billion that will go to the residents of the state of New York. And we're not finished yet. And of that $2.6 billion over a period of time, $12 million for now will be dedicated to Staten Island for treatment and education and prevention and beds, pediatric beds, geriatric beds, beds of all kinds for individuals who are struggling with this opioid crisis. But it's also important to know that as we are viewing trends right now, we are seeing another disturbing trends. Fentanyl and xylazine. What is xylazine? Xylazine is a drug tranquilizer, which unfortunately people are using it to lace their drugs. And unfortunately, it's resulting in the overdoses of countless number of individuals all throughout the state, which is why I wrote a letter along with my colleagues across this nation to urge Congress to pass a law so that fentanyl can be regulated by the FDA. It's important that individuals understand that we've got to talk about these drugs and that we all must understand that it affects all of us. No matter what you look like, no matter where you live, all of us have been affected by opioids. And it's important that all of us understand that and that we, as elected officials, respond to the needs of individuals and put politics aside. And that's what we are doing today. I thank our mayor. I thank Rumsey. I thank all of my colleagues, but I particularly want to give one shout out who has been an advocate and who has called me consistently and repeatedly, and that is Senator Diane Savino. She's called me on a weekly basis. Tish, what about Staten Island? What about Staten Island? And we responded. I want to thank, again, your great district attorney for all that he is doing. I want to thank all of the elected officials who are here. And I want to thank all of the medical professionals and all of those who are on the ground who are responding to this crisis. I use the law both as a sword and as a shield. And I will shield the residents of Staten Island against this crisis and use every power that I have in my disposal to address this crisis and to, again, provide and make sure that your family members and your loved ones are with you each and every night. Thank you, and God bless you.